Massive East Coast snowstorm. 9 hours stuck in a plane on a tarmac. Similar strandings on roads and rails. And then there are the thousands and thousands of travelers who camped out at airports. And those are just a few of the ordeals reported on Monday as commuters and long-distance travelers across the Northeast faced blowing snow, paralyzed public transit, and hundreds of canceled flights due to a blizzard that put a brutal end to the Christmas holiday weekend. New York City was especially hard hit. All 3 international airports have been closed since Sunday, forcing the cancellation of at least 2,000 flights. Stranded travelers got cots and blankets, but some said they were not allowed to retrieve their checked luggage and had no extra clothing or toiletries. At Central Park, snow was 20 inches deep. Giant piles were on the sidewalks where snowplows cleared the streets. Some motorists who were able to dig their cars out from the snow were left spinning their wheels on unplowed streets. Mayor Michael Bloomberg urged residents to avoid driving and told drivers not to worry about those normally aggressive parking laws. All parking meter regulations have been suspended for today, so you don't have to move your car or feed the meter, he said in a statement. Commuter rail down at rush hour. Skies started clearing just before the morning commute, but New York subway traffic was sporadic, and the Metro North commuter rail connecting the city to its northern suburbs was suspended. "I've never seen anything like this," said one commuter. "It's one thing if you shut down a few trains for service, but how on earth are you going to shut down all the trains during rush hour?" added Chris Alvarez, one of about 100 people huddled in a Metro North station in Harlem. Not even New York City's subway system, usually the reliable workhorse during a snowstorm, held up. Some 400 subway passengers were stranded for 7 hours on 4 trains that broke down near Kennedy Airport. Amtrak passenger rail service between New York and Boston was also suspended Sunday night. Hundreds of travelers dozed Monday in Long Island Railroad train cars, frozen at the platform. Many others lay like refugees at the entrance to the train link to Kennedy Airport and stood helpless at the ticket office, waiting in vain for good news to flash on the schedule screens. Many hours went by without a single train leaving with passengers, and there was no fun for thousands and thousands of people stranded at airports. At the Philadelphia International Airport, where service resumed Monday morning, some 1,200 passengers stuck overnight were given pillows, blankets, water, juice, and diapers. In New York City, buses were knocked out as well. Cabs were little more than a myth, and those who tried walking were assailed with a hard, frigid wind that made snowflakes sting like needles. More than 2,400 sanitation workers were working in 12-hour shifts to clear New York City's 6,000 miles of streets. More snow fell on New York's Central Park for 17 hours, and the blizzard could become just the 6th storm in history to leave 20 inches. Snowdrifts dropped 3 to 5 feet on north-facing structures, thanks to winds of up to 49 miles per hour. Eastern New Jersey and western Long Island were also hit hard by the storm, which blew up the Atlantic coast on Sunday night and continued up to the Monday morning commute, unleashing powerful winds and grounding cities to a halt. Also impacted were some of the region's zoos: New York City's Bronx Zoo, Central Park Zoo, Queens Zoo, Prospect Park Zoo, and the New York Aquarium were not open on Monday, the Wildlife Conservation Society said. In New England, many commuters appeared to be heeding the call to stay off the roads. In Greater Boston, highways into the city were nearly abandoned early Monday, as many workers were given the day off and others were on vacation for the holiday week. Blizzard-like conditions wreaked havoc and caused chaos on travelers from the Carolinas to Maine. Airlines scrambled to rebook passengers on thousands and thousands of canceled flights, but said they didn't expect normal service to resume until at least Tuesday. One caller seeking to reschedule a flight on U.S. Airways was told by an automated phone message, "Your wait time is now 170 minutes." Amtrak resumed service between New York and Boston on a limited schedule, but warned that passengers should still expect delays on travel throughout the day and allow for ample time to arrive at their respective stations. Bus companies canceled routes up and down the East Coast, and drivers faced hazardous travel conditions, sometimes with close to zero visibility. New York City's John F. Kennedy and LaGuardia airports remained closed on Monday, as was northern New Jersey's Newark Liberty International Airport. A spokesman said Boston's Logan International Airport could take days to get back to normal. Air train travel hit. Air carriers began canceling flights on Saturday and warned that more cancellations were very likely. New York's Metropolitan Transportation Authority said the blizzard was having a major impact on its operations. The major suspensions across the transportation network were set to continue through rush hour, including a suspension on the Long Island Railroad, suspension of Metro-North Railroad's New Haven line, and suspension of several of New York City's subway lines. The MTA said strong wind gusts of up to 80 miles per hour knocked out power to thousands. Utilities reported approximately 30,000 customers were out in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, mostly on Cape Cod and south of Boston. A blizzard warning, which is issued when snow is accompanied by sustained winds or gusts over 35 miles per hour for 3 hours, was in effect early Monday from Delaware to the far northern tip of Maine. States of emergency were declared in North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, New Jersey, Maine, and Massachusetts, where the governor urged people who did not have to be on the roads to stay home to ensure their safety and that of work crews. Non-essential state workers were told to stay home. In Boston, the mayor declared a snow emergency that bans parking on all major streets. The monster storm is the result of a low-pressure system off the North Carolina coast and strengthened as it moved northeast, the National Weather Service said. Because of it, parts of the South had their first white Christmas since records have been kept. And again, more wild, crazy weather, increasing in frequency. Yes, weather gone wild. And these are more signs of the times, the end times, transition days, which is a continuing day-by-day process. In other words, all systems that must change quickly or rapidly, and for the better, because it's about what kind of world are we leaving to the future generations. Revelation chapter 14, verse 6. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation, and kindred, and language, and people. 7. Saying with a loud voice, Fear God, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven, and earth, and the sea, and the fountains of waters. 8. And there followed another angel, saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. 9. The third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any human worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead, or in his hand. 10. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, and in the presence of the Lamb. 11. The smoke of their torment ascends up forever and ever, and they have no rest, day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receives the mark of his name. 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. 13. And I heard a voice from heaven, saying unto me, Write, Blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yes, saith the Spirit, they that may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. 14. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. 15. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, Thrust in thy sickle, and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. Yes, it's time for the harvest, and it's time for all prophecy to be fulfilled, and there are many different kinds of signs happening daily all around the world.